Hi, my name's Colin. Welcome to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, I thought we'd paint something a little different today. I've stretched the paper, I've done my drawing obviously first, and I'm just going to take out a little sunspot, and it's just a slight bit of water on the paper, and now we're going to go straight in with some Indian yellow, and just around the circle that I've made we're going to create a sunspot. I thought we'd do something slightly different with some slightly different colours today. Strengthen that up in the areas. Just allow this to flow. And then into that we have some ultramarine and alizarin crimson, which will go in the top part of the sky. And it's to the red side. Just pull it down. Just create some top of the cloud shapes. Just strengthen the corners up slightly. I've got the board laying flat. Creating some interest in the top. This is a mixture of cobalt blue and alizarin crimson. And I've just patted it in, and we're just taking some paint out all the way down to where the lake shore is, over the hills. Re-wet some of the areas around here. Just get some water on it. And then into that, this is some cadmium yellow light, just to create a light spot with a touch of Indian yellow and some light red, Naples yellow, just letting it all mingle. And then this is light red and burnt sienna. To strengthen the bottom up. Just a touch more light red into it so that you can see it. And I'm going to allow all that to dry. Now that the sky is relatively dry and I've removed some of the glass that's fell on the painting, I'm just going to take some clean water to this hill at the back. And I'm just going to gently re-wet the area. Not soak it, just to make sure it's damp. Then into that, this is a mixture of cobalt blue, alizarin crimson and burnt sienna, just a touch of burnt sienna, just to darken it. Just follow the contour of the hill at the back. That's while we're waiting for that to dry. This is light red, cobalt blue. Just going to strengthen some areas up in here, dropping some light red patches in just to reinforce the underpainting, darken it as we go down to this corner. And being as the paper is still damp, the edges will soften. We can add a little light red to this bush, and then we can leave that to dry. Now that the background hill is dry, we'll just bring the foreground hill in the middle ground a little bit more forward. So I'm just re-wetting the area, and into that I'm going to drop a stronger mix of the colour, which is cobalt blue, alizarin crimson and a little touch of burnt sienna. Also adding in just a slight bit of that colour into the ground. Which helps to darken the foreground again. Let's leave that to dry. I'm going to add a little wash of light red into this bush. And as you can see, I've masked out the fence posts. I'm going to leave that to dry. Now the background hills are dry, I'm just re-wetting this area in the lake, but not all the way. I'll just show some deep areas of water, and we'll put a tiny bit of sparkle on the top part. So this is Indian yellow, a bit mucky Indian yellow, and it's virtually a dry brush, and I just want to catch the tooth of the paper, nothing else. The same here. Just bringing it into the water. Same time, we can add some reflections. This is the sky colour, and also the mixture we used for the hills. I just want to add that in. The top part of sky colour, which was the alizarin crimson and French ultramarine, darkening it up as we go. All these strokes are horizontal, and we just want to leave a faint white line between the hills and the water's edge. And then we can turn our attention to the house, and just the back part of the house here. I'm just re-wetting it, cobalt blue. If you let it come down the building, what we'll do is we'll soften the edges off when it reaches the bottom, so there's no hard edges. Just soften off. This is a rigger brush. And this is a mixture of ultramarine and burnt umber. Not too much on it. And I think you've seen me do trees before. Just putting the trunks in. Then we'll add the branches in, and you might find it easier to turn your board round. Like so, and with the same mixture again, I'll just zoom in. Sorry about that, I just had to change the battery in my camera. Same colour mixture, and what you're going to do now is just put the fine branches onto these trees. Give yourself a little nervous twitch. I'll just do a couple because it's a bit repetitive, and you can see the result in a few minutes. Once you have your trees in like that, with the same mixture but watered down, it's very simply, we will just put some foliage on the tops of these trees, and if you turn your brush flat to the board and just drag it around where you want the leaves and foliage to be. Possibly one of the most simplest ways to paint foliage. You can see that. And then we can allow that to dry. I'm just re-wetting part of the lake area, and it doesn't really matter if you disturb the paint underneath, because I just want to strengthen it up to create some reflections. Just come back to the house now, and I've just re-wet the roof area on the house, the main house, and the little outbuilding. And this is some cobalt blue and burnt umber, and I just want to drop it in patches into that. I just want to drop a tiny bit of the sky colour. We move to the bush on the side. Now this is a mixture of burnt sienna with a touch of burnt umber into it, and this is a mop brush, squirrel hair, and I'm just going to pop in the bush here. You can just pull some of the bottom of these brushes to here and attach your painting, attach your brushes to the ground. I still need to darken the foreground. Do this in stages, light patches. This is a dry brush, and I'm going to allow that to dry. And this is the mixture of the cobalt blue and the burnt umber, and I just want to put a shadow under the eave just to help draw your eye in. It looks a little strong, but we are going to use that to our advantage by pulling it into the house. And then we come back to our bush, the same mixture of the cobalt blue and the burnt umber, and we just put the darks on the underside in here. Just and we'll just strengthen this shoreline up. This is the French ultramarine and the burnt umber again, and I just want to pull some into the land, attaching the bushes to the ground, darkening up the foreground once again with the French ultramarine and burnt umber against the yellow. This will give it a great contrast, and I just want to put some rocks and pebbles in. And this is a oil painting palette knife, and while the dark is still wet, we'll just put in some rocks, pebbles, maybe it's a big one there. Just scrape your rocks in, it looks like that. We can just move back to the house again for a second or two whilst we just pop some windows in. Bit of shadow under there. And something to pull your eye in towards that. Be a little red door. Don't bring it all the way to the ground. Leave a little to the imagination. Take some twigs through these bushes. I'll just do a few, and because, like I said, because it's repetitive, I'll join you in a moment. There's only a few things left to do now. I've just rubbed the masking fluid off the fence posts, and with a mixture of cobalt blue and the burnt umber over the top of some yellow that I have added. I just want to leave a yellow side where the sunlight would catch the outer post side, like so. Then into that I really do want to drop some light red and cobalt blue just along this side. Just so the fence posts don't look all one colour. With a very weak mix of the sky colour, which was the cobalt blue, and the French ultramarine, with just a touch of the burnt umber in. We need to add shadow. Same on the house, not much. You don't want to cover up all your light area. Is to sign it, we're going to put some, re-emphasise the shoreline, and we're going to put some wind streaks in with a craft knife. Okay, this is your final painting, and as you can see I've scraped in the wind streaks from the sun to add a little bit more sparkle into the reservoir or lake. And the shadow's been added, the barbed wire's been put in, and I've just scratched a few grasses in, and I've added some birds. So this is your finished painting. It's now ready to be mounted and framed. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.